Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am so glad you're here. Today's date is Monday, October 28th, 2024. In this video, which won't include a compilation, we're going to do a discussion of and read about an organization, kind of a shadowy in the background figures organization called the Red Hats. And the reason I'm doing this is my very best friend and prayer partner is a military wife and then a law enforcement wife of over 30 years. She's very wide awake. And she asked me the other day, what are red hats? And I thought, if my best friend needs to ask me this, other people may be having that question too. Now, I want to do a semi disclaimer here. This is my understanding and interpretation of what the assorted hats are. It's by no means an official one, and I could very well not be totally accurate. So if what I say sounds plausible to you, matches up with things you've searched on your own and discoveries you've made for yourself, great. If not, disregard it. As with any information that's out there, guys, okay? Feel free to disregard if it doesn't seem kosher to you. Okay, so here's what I told my friend Kathy. I said, Kathy, think of the red hats as white hats who are willing to get their hands dirty to get this war over with. In other words, some bloodshed. On the one hand, we have the white hats who have been following a plan and taking orders and following chain of command. And while, yes, there are times that they have gotten their hands bloodied in the process, it's been slow going. And there is a growing discontent, not just in the civilian ranks, but also in that of those who serve or are willing to serve, that about the pacing of this. It's almost like it's designed to be a little dramatic, and it's not necessarily going for the most effective solutions, is what how people feel. So there is a group of people. I've so far I haven't heard mention of any females, but I'm sure there's some females involved. In fact, after I explained, that they're white hats that are willing to speed things up and shed blood if it's necessary in the process. She said, "Well, I guess I'm a red hat too." And I said, if I had some capacity, I could be helpful for them, I would be also. We're at war. If you look at and have listened to Mike King and Derek Johnson talk about how the executive orders and military justice system is such that we are truly at war. There are wartime actions that are taken that aren't taken during times when there is no active conflict. And so I said, I don't think I could help them in any way, but what I won't do is talk bad about them. Now, I'm going on the assumption here, because we are going to do a read about the Red Hats, that we really won't get anything negative. But here's some other speculation I had. I believe if this organization exists, as we're hearing, and the most chatter about it I hear is on the satire site Real Raw News. So take that for what it's worth. But if they are just simply trying to get to the same objective, geopolitical objective that the White Hats are, that would seem to me that they would recognize that we have a commander in chief. And it's interesting to me that there's been no mention, not even a hint mentioned, of asking the Red Hats, who are led by someone who's referred to as Colonel Kurtz, to stand down. Right now, we're also hearing that there is a union between the Red Hats and the White Hats in conflicts involving FEMA, the nefarious engagements of FEMA and halting those. So there's an alliance going on. I'm wondering, did you ever watch the Mission Impossible movies where before the recording self-destructs, the agent is informed that if he or any member of his team are caught, they're going to be disavowed? So I think it's kind of, I'm wondering if there really are two separate teams, or if for plausible deniability, they've got a division or faction of same that are willing to take on the stigma or be known for being more active in engagements and getting to making some of those decisions on the ground that happen fast. Okay. And as my friend Kathy said, she said, I'm tired of watching people die from turbo this and turbo that, or just getting so discouraged they're giving up because this has dragged on so long. I could be a red hat too. And yeah, we factor in collateral damage when you do any kind of military strategy. And I don't think there's been an accurate understanding of the collateral damage that's happened as healing technologies have continued to be withheld from us, as there's been no dismantling of some of the big corporate complexes that cause harm. And I can't specifically talk about and keep my channel. Um, there's a lot of collateral damage. Absolutely. So I'm going to set aside and just putting that out there for you. What if it's same team and they've got some that have volunteers that have said, okay, we're going to do this because we want to speed things up and get the job done. And yeah, you can disavow us if we get caught or killed, or you can even say that we were, a renegade branch. But again, there's been no mention of Mr. T asking them to stand down or our commander-in-chief asking them to stand down. And I find that very interesting. So let's do a read. Now, I'm expecting the universe will probably withhold some information for us. But as you know, the way I read cards, I will tell you what element of each card we get in the read is indicating as far as my understanding of the messages. So I do heavily rely on the universe to do the screening of information, but we're just going to ask for insights and information about this group operating within the borders. As far as I know, it's just within the borders of the United States, called the Red Hats. And let's see what they have to say. Okay, I'm gonna switch the camera and let you watch me work with the cards and we'll find out together. I am using a different deck today, but I checked. It doesn't seem to have too much glare and I like it. I didn't have a red deck for the red hats, but since the colors in the United States on our flag are red, white, and blue, I did get out a blue deck. So we're gonna see what we find out here. Okay, what does the universe want us to know and can be shared at this time without impacting operational safety about the Red Hats, the um, group within the United States that are tired of the slow pace that the White Hats follow and have taken it upon themselves to serve and protect in their own unique fashion. We have the Fool, Knight of Pentacles. That's a very reassuring card to see, and I'll explain as we go. We have the Ten of Pentacles, another very reassuring card. These guys have great objectives. They are patriots, unsung heroes, I can tell you that already. We have the Two of Swords. We have the Three of Swords. We have the Nine of Wands. And we have the Ten of Swords. Wow, guys. Okay, I'm going to show you what I'm getting from the cards and why. And so the red hats are indicated by the card, the Fool, a major arcana. Says they're significant. They do have a job they're doing. They are very well run, and despite the fact that they are billing Colonel Kurtz as being kind of a renegade and a hothead, he's got some military genius going on here, and he is very stable and aware of the objectives that he is trying to help achieve in this country. So very reassuring cards here. Recent past, there's been some celebrating going on. Okay, that there has been some willing participants ready to move forward, protect families and innocent life, and speed things up a little bit. So that's the celebration element here. And this is also a celebration because there have been a number of incidents where the Red Hats were involved and innocent life was protected. So they know that they've got some achievements that they can celebrate, even if they can't be put on to the mainstream or even the alternative media news too directly. The right now, they're in a kind of a holding pattern. So what I'm getting here with especially with the blindfold, there is a little information about them that's being withheld. We have the reassuring cards here. Boom, boom, absolutely. So if you hear things about the red hats, guys, their hearts are in the right place. Their objectives are admirable. They deserve our respect and our thanks. Um, but there's kind of there is some information being held. I'm seeing with this two of swords that again, it's a can be a withholding information card on political reads, and that's how I'm getting it for this one. Looking ahead here, okay? Wow, this is why they deserve our respect. They're taking some heavy losses. They are. This there are they being the red hats are mourning the loss of some of those that their fellow fighters. So they've had some losses. They've also, it looks like they may have had some disappointment, maybe some promises that weren't kept, or someone that infiltrated and impacted operational safety and processes at some point. So that's what's going on here. Or if it's not, they're going to face it really soon. So if a red hot hat is listening to this, be aware there may be some infiltration going on that's going to impact operational safety and effectiveness. So that's what I'm reading this one. However, the strongest insight card here says no matter what, they're determined. Stable military genius and determination. But they are going to have some losses. They are. And some of them looks like they might be avoidable by doing a little more deeply checking into recruits, background checks, things like that. So again, if there's a red hat and you're watching this, you have my respect, you have my admiration, and you may just want to um, put a bug in someone's ear that they need to be checking some of the new recruits and volunteers. Okay, that you may have someone's not being honest about their motives or what they're doing. So let's get a couple more cards and see for further insights and information about the red hats here in the US. King of Cups, and another very reassuring card with the 10 of Cups, lots of cups. This is an emotional thing because, again, these are boots on the ground that are willing to um, make some big decisions, and get their hands dirty in the process. So, King of Cups, again, this kind of is saying what I told you at the start of the video. Use your emotional intelligence. Is what I'm telling you, does it sound like it's likely, it's possible, it could at some point be verified and confirmed in more traditional ways? Use your emotional intelligence. Now, if what I seem is just like entertainment and she's just another card reader who tries to act like she knows what's going on, then, disregard it or watch something else. That's fine with me. But ultimately here, I do see that down the road, the Red Hats are going to be celebrated for what they've done because at the core of it, their heart's in the right place. They want this country to be free from the shenanigans gang, from the deep state antics and control, and family first, country first, so that they can put family first. Okay, gonna get two more cards. Victory card. Okay, Red Hats, even though you've got some losses coming up and some actions that may need to be rethought. Victory and the Wheel of Fortune, which is always turning in this complicated world we have. It's going from dark to light in every political based read or current events read I do. So you guys are making it happen. You're speeding things up. And like I said, the Red Hats, if you hear of them, they deserve our thanks and our trust. Let's recap. After a discussion of what and who the red hats that we sometimes hear referred to in the alt media community, I don't think they're being even hinted about in the mainstream, what they might be, we ask the universe for insights and information, with the caveat being that if there's operational safety that something needs to be withheld, that's fine, but what can be shared at this time that will give people a little more insight and information about this organization called the Red Hats. And the cards that indicate, first of all, the Fool showed up, and that's not, if you're new to tarot, please don't see I'm think I'm saying that the Red Hats are a fool. It's a major arcana. It kind of starts a journey onto a new era, onto a new path that you kind of go forth in faith, but with lots of energy, and the potential is limitless. And so, limitless potential and good faith efforts are being indicated with this card. Telling a little more because there is some chatter that their leader, the Red Hat leader, who is um, nicknamed Colonel Kurtz, there's some talk about his stability. It's just chatter. It's just part of the how they've decided to um, frame the different personalities and such involved. Okay, now interestingly enough here, I didn't get any indication that this group are truly renegade and rogue at all. By the same token, while we did get some information that there's a little bit being withheld from us, see the blindfold? I was wondering if there was actually truly more of a cohesive alliance going on with the red and white hats than they want us to know at this time. So, recent past, they've had some successful operations and are justifiably proud that some of the action they've taken have saved innocent lives and prevented harm. So good going, guys. Okay, I know there was an earthquake that apparently in on the East Coast that they were heavily involved in, and I think that's what I'm getting here, that they're proud of that one for sure. Okay, now, when we looked at the near future about and for the Red Hats, cautionary card for them. It looks like there is, besides the fact that they're going to be not necessarily accurately reported on in the news, but within their ranks, they may have some recruits that are trying to infiltrate, and I think they should be a little more thorough in their background checks, or those doing the background checks. Okay, so because there's as with any large organization, especially ones that are opposing, established, deeply entrenched, nefarious entities, there are attempts to infiltrate and to kind of impact the effectiveness. Despite that, they are absolutely determined. Okay, so we've got stable military genius going on here, determination, and even though they're incurring some losses as they fight on our behalf, are being regular humans here in America. Um, they're determined. It's going to pay off, though. Look, in the near future, further on, we've got the Ten of Cups. I think at some point we'll be able to know more accurately what this organization was, where their true affiliations were. But right now, what we're being told is they're putting their lives on the line for objectives that they think are very important for this country, and they deserve our trust and our respect. The um, as with anything, as you hear this information or listen to this read, use your discernment. If what I'm saying doesn't sound likely, tune out. It's no problem with me. Ultimately, white hats, victory. Victory is yours. And a kudos to the red hats. The efforts you're taking, the actions you're taking are causing the Wheel of Fortune to turn faster. And the Wheel of Fortune is going from dark to light. Anytime this card shows up in current events or political reads for me, it's a very positive card saying this effort has made this happen and it's a good thing. So again, this organization, shrouded in rumor and innuendo and secrecy to some extent, um, is not really that hard to grasp. It's good patriotic people that have decided to take a course of action and are following leadership that hasn't been told by the commander-in-chief to stand down. I find that very interesting. Hopefully you do too. That's it for this video. I thank you so much for your time, your attention, and your viewership. If you are a subscriber, would you just check and make sure you're still subscribed? Because my numbers get reduced. And it's not us doing it, it's the games they play. And, I know I'm on a platform that I can't speak as freely as on others, and that's the way it is. And if you try to like a video and you have to press that button 4 or 5 times for it to show up, go ahead and do it. But even then, they still play with the numbers, so I don't look at them too closely. I thank you. And until next time, I wish you love, light, and everything bright. And if you are a Red Hat or affiliated with them in any way, I also send you my thanks and prayers for your protection and success and all good things. Until next time, bye.